There are machines that age, there are machines that decline, and then there are machines that defy the very concept of time. The Lexus LX470 belongs to the final category. A rare breed of engineering, so deliberate, so obsessively overbuilt, that it challenges everything we believe about luxury vehicles. Durability and value. It is not merely an SUV. It is a quiet rebellion against planned obsolescence. A declaration that craftsmanship, when executed without compromise, can outlast entire generations of automotive trends. Most luxury cars begin their lives adored and admired, only to end them abandoned in repair shops, strangled by electronics, and crushed by maintenance bills. But the LX470 did something unprecedented. It refused to follow the script. It refused to break. It refused to fade. Instead, it evolved into one of the most respected machines ever to touch asphalt, sand, mud, or snow. This is the luxury SUV that outlived its rivals, the one that outperformed its successors, the one that earned loyalty not through marketing campaigns, but through unshakable performance in the harshest environments on Earth. Built upon the indomitable bones of the Toyota Land Cruiser, the LX470 bridges two worlds that were never meant to meet: the world of relentless off-road endurance and the world of serene, uninterrupted luxury. It is a paradox that works, a contradiction that thrives, a machine that proves comfort and toughness are not opposites, but partners. And in 2025, as the automotive landscape becomes louder, flashier, and more fragile, this calm, confident titan now sits on the used market for the price of a mid-range hatchback. $20,000 for a machine that has crossed continents, won reliability awards, survived 3 decades, and still starts each morning with the quiet confidence of something engineered not for profit, but for immortality. This documentary from Gear Pulse Insight explores how a luxury SUV became a legend, how a $70,000 flagship transformed into the smartest $20,000 purchase of the decade, and how one machine, against every expectation, refused to die. This is not simply an automotive story. This is the anatomy of a miracle of engineering. This is the untold story of the Lexus LX470. Every great automotive legend begins with a contradiction, and the story of the Lexus LX470 begins with one of the most striking. Luxury vehicles are supposed to be fragile. They are supposed to be temperamental, demanding, and financially punishing once the warranty expires. For decades, buyers accepted this truth as inevitable. Prestige required sacrifice. Comfort required cost. The badge on the bonnet was a promise, but it was also a warning. Yet in the late 1990s and early 2000s, something extraordinary occurred. At a time when European manufacturers were racing toward higher complexity, thinner tolerances, and increasingly digital systems, Lexus quietly took the opposite path. The brand made a choice that would redefine its legacy and reshape the expectations of an entire industry. It pursued absolute reliability above all else. The LX470 emerged from this philosophy not as an experiment, but as a statement. It was built upon the proven architecture of the Toyota Land Cruiser, a vehicle trusted by militaries, humanitarian fleets, explorers, and communities located far beyond the reach of dealerships or spare parts. This foundation was not simply strong, it was unyielding. When Lexus adapted this platform, it did not dilute it, it elevated it. The engineers retained the legendary 2UZFE 4.7-liter naturally aspirated 8-cylinder engine, a power plant celebrated for its low-stress operation, immense tolerance for abuse, and astonishing longevity. They paired it with robust transmissions, simple electronics, and a chassis designed to shrug off decades of punishment. Then, they added refinement that the Land Cruiser had never experienced: sound insulation, handcrafted wood trim, deep leather seats, and a driving experience so controlled that it felt almost serene. The result was a machine that did not behave like a typical luxury SUV. It behaved like something far more unusual, a long-term companion. It did not deteriorate in a straight line. It did not reach a predictable expiration date. Instead, it settled into a rhythm of reliability that bordered on the unbelievable. Owners discovered, often with a sense of disbelief, that the LX470 continued to function with the same calm confidence at 200,000 miles as it did at 20,000. This consistency created something powerful: trust. And trust is the rarest currency in the automotive world. As the early 2000s progressed, the LX began to earn a reputation that spread not through advertising campaigns, but through word of mouth and real-world experience. Families kept them for years. Adventurers pushed them across continents. Mechanics began describing them as machines that simply refused to give up. And quietly, almost invisibly, a luxury SUV became a benchmark for durability in an industry dominated by marketing claims rather than mechanical truth. Meanwhile, European luxury rivals vehicles like the BMW X5, Mercedes-Benz M-Class, and Range Rover offered cutting-edge features but struggled with long-term durability. Complex air suspensions, intricate electronics, and tightly wound turbocharged engines aged quickly, often failing spectacularly. Their brilliance in the showroom rarely translated into resilience on the road. And as those vehicles depreciated sharply, the LX held firm, aging with the composure of a veteran athlete who knows exactly how to conserve energy for the moments that matter. This contrast created a unique identity for the Lexus. It was not merely another choice in the luxury market. It was the outlier, the survivor, the quiet champion in a category filled with loud pretenders. By the time the mid-2000s arrived, the LX470 had become something few vehicles ever achieve: a machine that inspired unwavering confidence from buyers, admiration from enthusiasts, and even respect from critics who usually dismissed large luxury SUVs as impractical excess. The LX did not ask for praise, it earned it. And now, in 2025, when the used market offers this once $70,000 Titan for as little as $20,000, the question becomes clearer than ever. How did a luxury SUV become one of the most intelligent purchases a modern driver can make? To answer that, we must understand not only what this vehicle is, but what it became. Every legend ascends by overcoming a rival, a moment in history, or a prevailing belief that challenges its very identity. For the Lexus LX, this transformation was forged not through confrontation in showrooms or through glamorous headline-grabbing achievements, but through its quiet defiance of an entire industry's assumptions. In the luxury 4x4 world of the early 2000s, European manufacturers dominated public perception. The BMW X5 was hailed as the athlete of the segment, emphasizing sharp handling and high-speed confidence. The Mercedes-Benz M-Class positioned itself as the executive's choice, draped in prestige and advanced features. And the Range Rover, with its aristocratic heritage, represented the pinnacle of British off-road royalty, effortlessly blending sophistication with wilderness capability. These vehicles were glamorous, powerful, and engineering marvels in their own right, yet they shared a common flaw: they were fragile under the weight of their own ambition. Complex air suspensions struggled with long-term reliability. Electronics faltered. Maintenance costs soared with mileage. Their beauty was undeniable, but their longevity was uncertain. In this environment, the LX470 entered the stage like a scholar among showmen. It did not chase speed records. It did not fight for headline horsepower figures. Instead, it prioritized something that the segment had undervalued: mechanical integrity. Where rivals embraced cutting-edge technology, the Lexus embraced robustness. Where others pushed the limits of complexity, Lexus chose systems tested in the harshest conditions on Earth. But this was not a compromise. It was a strategic decision. The LX arrived with the powerful yet low-stress 2UZFE 8-cylinder engine, a masterpiece built for consistency rather than chaos. It avoided unnecessary complication, focusing instead on proven engineering and build quality that bordered on obsessive. This philosophy created the transformation that would define the vehicle's legacy. Then came the pivotal evolution. The 2003 model year. Lexus introduced an upgraded 5-speed automatic transmission, enhancing efficiency and driving refinement without sacrificing durability. Larger 18-inch wheels improved stability. The cabin received substantial updates, incorporating early-generation Bluetooth connectivity and an optional backup camera features that were far ahead of their time in the early 2000s. But it was the introduction of the infrared night vision system that truly shocked the industry. While European rivals were refining parking sensors and experimenting with early infotainment systems, Lexus quietly inserted a technology usually reserved for military hardware. A projected night vision feed on the windscreen of a luxury SUV in 2003 was not merely innovation. It was a technical statement that Lexus was not behind its competitors. It was thinking differently. This willingness to innovate without compromising reliability is where the LX separated itself from the pack. It evolved without excess. It modernized without fragility. It adapted without betraying the core principle that defined its engineering DNA. As the decade progressed, several rivals fell victim to their own complexity. Owners faced costly repairs, and depreciation eroded the value of once premium models. Meanwhile, the LX remained steady, aging with grace, consistency, and mechanical honesty. It became clear that Lexus had solved a problem the industry had not even acknowledged existed. Luxury does not need to weaken durability. But the transformation did not stop there. The LX began to earn something rivals could not manufacture: a cultural reputation. Adventures in the Australian outback, humanitarian missions in Africa, and remote expeditions across Asia revealed the vehicle's exceptional toughness under brutal conditions. While many European SUVs required careful maintenance or specialist support, the Lexus simply continued to operate, indifferent to terrain, climate, or load. This global adoption cemented the LX470's transformation from a premium American family luxury SUV into a universal symbol of reliability. It crossed borders, climates, and cultures. Where rivals fought for status, the Lexus earned trust. By the time the final model year arrived in 2007, the vehicle had transformed from a niche luxury SUV into one of the most respected machines ever to leave Japan. It had defeated its rivals not through confrontation, but through consistency, a slow, relentless demonstration of unbeatable longevity. And today, that transformation has given it a second life. On the used market, a $20,000 LX470 challenges brand new crossovers, costing the same amount. It offers the mechanical honesty that modern vehicles often lack, and it provides a sense of confidence, a quiet, reassuring certainty that remains unmatched. The LX did not win the race with speed. It won with endurance, and in doing so, it became something the industry rarely acknowledges: a luxury vehicle that transcends generations. Every great story reaches a moment when the subject transcends its category and enters the realm of folklore. For the Lexus LX470, that moment arrived when owners, mechanics, and entire communities began speaking of it not as a vehicle, but as an entity, an unwavering presence, a dependable companion, a machine with a personality shaped by resilience. This is where the Lexus stops being an engineering achievement and becomes an icon. To truly understand the climax of the LX470's legacy, one must look beyond showrooms and spec sheets, and instead listen to the voices of those who have lived alongside it. In workshops across the world, experienced mechanics tell stories that sound almost mythical. They speak of LX engines surpassing 300,000 miles without internal repairs, They recall transmissions with original fluid still shifting smoothly after 2 decades. They share anecdotes of electrical systems that have never once required replacement, even in vehicles exposed to extreme climates. This consistency is not an accident. It is the defining feature of the LX470, and it is the reason the vehicle has earned admiration in places where reliability is not a preference, but a necessity. Across the deserts of the Middle East, where daytime temperatures exceed 50 degrees Celsius, the LX and its Land Cruiser sibling became trusted companions for tribes, explorers, and rescue teams. In the Australian outback, where the nearest settlement can be hundreds of kilometers away, the LX served as a lifeline, able to traverse punishing terrain with a calmness that other luxury SUVs could never match. In remote African regions, humanitarian groups chose LX vehicles because they knew that a breakdown was not merely an inconvenience. It could be a life-threatening event. The LX gained global respect not through marketing, but through survival. This survivalist reputation reached its peak when stories of million-mile Toyota 8-cylinder engines began circulating. These were not theoretical possibilities. They were factual testimonies, photographs of odometers touching the 1 million mark, engines still idling smoothly, and owners smiling proudly beside machines that had become part of their identity. The LX470 shares this exact mechanical heart. It is no exaggeration to say that the vehicle is capable of crossing continents without complaint. But its strength is not brute force. It is balance. Every component, from its robust cooling system to its reinforced chassis, works in harmony. The engine is understressed. The transmission is deliberate and methodical. The electronics are simple, almost conservative. This harmony means that the LX does not merely last, it ages gracefully. There is a quiet elegance in the way the LX approaches the concept of longevity. There is no desperation to impress, no sense of strain or fatigue. Instead, it projects a dignified confidence, almost as if it understands that its purpose extends beyond transportation. It becomes a constant presence in the lives it touches. And this is where the vehicle reaches iconic status, not in specifications, but in emotions. A family that has owned an LX for 20 years tells a different story compared to a family that has swapped cars every few years. The LX becomes woven into their experiences: school runs, late-night drives, long-distance journeys, unexpected emergencies, celebrations, and quiet moments. In many households, the keys pass from parent to child, as if the vehicle carries a legacy worth inheriting. It is not unusual to hear owners refer to their LX as if it has human qualities. They describe it as patient, steadfast, trustworthy. They explain that it inspires confidence in the same way a reliable friend would. When a car earns emotional language, it has already become an icon. From a technical standpoint, the climax of the LX story lies in the absurd reliability statistics. Across an entire decade of production, the vehicle recorded a total of only 6 complaints on major consumer reporting platforms. That figure is almost unbelievable in a category notorious for high failure rates and expensive maintenance. There is a reason some LX vehicles spend their entire lifetimes in service fleets that demand absolute dependability. A reason they are commonly found in regions where breakdowns can be catastrophic. A reason seasoned travelers and off-road experts refer to them as the last luxury SUV you will ever need. And a reason the $20,000 used market price feels less like a discount and more like an opportunity. The LX470 is the rare moment in automotive history when a machine escaped the boundaries of its segment and became a symbol of what happens when engineers chase perfection instead of profit. A symbol of endurance in an age obsessed with acceleration. A symbol of trust in a world where mechanical certainty has become scarce. This is the height of the Lexus LX myth, when a luxury SUV becomes a legend and a piece of machinery becomes a companion for life. Every legend carries a shadow, a question that lingers in the minds of those who study it closely. How did something so exceptional come to exist in the first place. The Lexus LX470 is no exception. To understand its true significance, one must step back and reflect on the era that created it, the philosophy that shaped it, and the legacy it leaves behind in a world that has since moved towards complexity, automation, and disposability. The LX was born during a remarkable period in Toyota's history. The late 1990s represented a golden age of Japanese engineering, when manufacturers were not yet constrained by the obsessive cost optimization that defines the modern industry. Back then, the question guiding development was not, how do we reduce expenses, but rather, how do we build something that will never fail its owner? This mindset is what allowed the LX to evolve with dignity. Each update during its decade-long production run was thoughtful rather than experimental. The introduction of the 5-speed automatic transmission was not a leap towards complexity. It was a refinement designed to enhance longevity and efficiency. The infrared night vision system was not a gimmick. It was a glimpse into the future, implemented with restraint and simplicity. The upgraded electronics and safety systems were integrated gently, ensuring the machine's mechanical soul remained intact. This steady evolution framed the LX470 as a bridge between two automotive eras. On one side, the analog world of honest engineering. On the other, the digital age of intricate systems and unpredictable failure points. The LX did not belong entirely to either era, and that is precisely why it remains relevant today. Modern luxury SUVs offer unprecedented convenience, advanced sensors, high-definition displays, and engines that squeeze immense power from compact, turbocharged designs. Yet with these marvels comes fragility. A single sensor can immobilize an entire vehicle. A software update can disrupt functionality. A complex transmission failure can exceed the value of the car itself. In this landscape, the LX470 stands almost philosophical, a meditation on endurance. It reminds us that excellence is not always found in complexity. Sometimes it is found in discipline, in restraint, in an approach to craftsmanship that prioritizes the long arc of ownership rather than the excitement of a showroom launch. It is no coincidence that owners describe the LX as possessing a soul. That word is not used lightly in the automotive world. It appears only when a machine's behavior feels almost human, consistent, trustworthy, quietly capable, and deeply dependable. The LX is not dramatic. It does not shout for attention. It simply performs, mile after mile, year after year, with the calm reliability of something built with purpose. Reflection also reveals something more profound. The LX470 did not simply outlast its rivals. It outlived the philosophy that created it. The industry that once produced machines of this quality has shifted. Priorities changed. Development cycles shortened. Shareholders demanded speed. Consumers demanded novelty. And as a result, the kind of uncompromising engineering that defined the LX has become increasingly rare. This rarity has shaped the modern used market in an unexpected way. A $20,000 LX470 is not merely a purchase, it is preservation. It is ownership of a mechanical artifact from a period when engineering was governed by pride rather than spreadsheets. It is participation in a legacy rather than consumption of a product. And there is a quiet, poetic quality in the fact that the LX has now become a refuge for drivers who value authenticity over trends. For individuals who understand that a machine that endures is far more impressive than one that simply dazzles. For enthusiasts who recognize that reliability is not the absence of drama, but the presence of mastery. In an age where vehicles are increasingly defined by digital features and subscription-based amenities, the LX470 stands as a reminder of what happens when engineers are allowed to build without compromise. It stands as a monument to thoughtful design and unwavering execution, and it continues to prove, year after year, that genuine excellence never truly becomes obsolete. Its evolution is more than a technical progression. It is a reflection of an era, a philosophy, and a belief. The that a machine can be designed not merely to perform, but to endure. In the end, the story of the Lexus LX470 is not simply the story of a vehicle. It is the story of what happens when human beings choose excellence over expedience, patience over pressure, and craftsmanship over compromise. It is a testament to an era when machines were engineered with dignity, when longevity was a promise rather than a marketing slogan, and when manufacturers believed that a vehicle should serve its owner, not burden them. The LX470 stands today as a quiet monument to that belief. It is a survivor from a time when engineering was guided by principle, a time when durability was considered an achievement worth pursuing, a time when the purpose of an automobile was not to impress for a moment, but to endure for a lifetime. Now, decades after its debut, this machine continues to cross continents, defy mileage, and rise above expectations. Its value has not diminished with age. Instead, age has revealed its true nature. It has become proof that reliability is not an accident. It is the result of discipline, of intention, of extraordinary attention to detail. The LX470 does not demand admiration. It earns it. And perhaps that is why, in 2025, it stands as one of the most intelligent purchases a driver can make. $20,000 for a vehicle that has already conquered deserts, mountains, and time itself is not a bargain. It is a revelation. A reminder that greatness is often quiet, often overlooked, and often found in the places where marketing shows do not shine. The LX470 is not immortal. No machine is. But it comes remarkably close. And in a world increasingly dominated by complexity and fragility, its simplicity, strength, and unwavering character feel almost revolutionary. This is more than an SUV. It is a legacy, a companion, a mechanical promise that, even as the industry moves forward, some things are still built to last. And as you reflect on its journey from a $70,000 flagship to the most dependable $20,000 luxury machine on the used market, one truth becomes unmistakably clear. The Lexus LX470 did not just survive. It prevailed. It set a standard others could not reach. It refused to die, and in doing so, it became a legend. This has been Gear Pulse Insight, where machines are more than metal and stories are more than words. Thank you for watching. And remember this, true engineering does not age. It endures.